Ola had always dreamed of becoming a great Norwegian spellman, a master of the Hardanger fiddle whose music could stir hearts and fill dance halls. One day, he would say quietly to himself, "They'll clear the floor just to hear me play." But no matter how long he practiced, no matter how many hours he spent bowing the strings, he could not reach the level he desired. His fingers ached, his patience wore thin, and frustration settled deep in his bones. Over the years, Ola had heard tales of people enhancing their skills by making a pact with the devil, but it wasn't just politicians. A few musicians did too. "You want greatness?" An old man once muttered at a gathering. "There are ways." Word reached him of something older than music itself, a whispered belief carried through the valleys and farms. It was said that if a man brought a fine leg of meat to the waterfall on 3 consecutive Thursdays, he might meet the devil himself. And if the devil was pleased, he might grant mastery in music in exchange for a bargain. Desperate and curious, Ola decided to try. On the first Thursday, he approached the waterfall with a leg of lamb. The roar of the water filled the air, and there, sitting calmly on the riverbank, was the devil. He was playing a fiddle, the very same tune Ola had been struggling with in the basement during a recent wedding celebration. Ola stopped in his tracks, not because of the music, but because of the devil's hands. They were horribly mutilated, twisted, and broken, as if the bones had been shattered and the veins torn apart. And yet, those very hands moved with terrifying precision, dancing across the strings in ways no ordinary player could manage. The deformity seemed to give him a strange and unnatural mastery. Ola swallowed his fear, stepped forward, and placed the leg of lamb on the ground. The devil did not stop playing. Without looking up, he said, "Go and play your fiddle until dawn. Then I will be waiting next Thursday for my next meat offering. Bring me reindeer next time." Ola hesitated. "That's all?" The bow never paused. "That is all." Ola nodded and left, spending the entire night playing. "Faster, cleaner," he muttered as he pushed himself. He played until his arms trembled and his fingers burned, but by morning he felt no different, no better. Next Thursday, he returned with a reindeer leg. The devil sat in the same place by the waterfall, playing as though he had never stopped. Without ceremony, the devil gave his instruction: "Play all night until dawn, and come back next Thursday with an elk's leg." Again, Ola obeyed. "This will be the night," he told himself. Again, he played until morning. And again. The only thing he gained was sore fingers and a growing sense of disappointment. On the third Thursday, he brought the elk's leg. The devil was waiting in the same spot, the waterfall thundering behind him. Ola placed the offering before him. "I've done everything you asked." The devil finally looked up. "Play all night," he said. "If you do this, you will be a good fiddle player. But if you want to be the best that has ever been, then you must give me your soul." Ola felt a chill run through him. He shook his head. "No." The devil studied him for a moment, then smiled faintly. "I would need you to bring me 3 things. First, come back next Thursday with a black cat that you have killed." Ola frowned. "It'll be hard to find a black cat around here. Most people get rid of them. Next, come back with the tongue of an adder snake and place it in the hole of your fiddle. If you do this, you must release the snake," the devil said. "Then, you must bring me the eye of a squirrel. If you do all of this, I will reward you." "What kind of reward?" Ola asked. The devil's smile widened. "The kind you won't question." Ola said nothing, but he decided to try. For the rest of the week, he searched. He climbed trees, peered into burrows, and wandered the forests, and he finally found a stray black cat. "Easy now," he whispered, setting out some goat's milk. He was finally able to lure the cat in with some goat's milk. He grabbed the cat and angled it so he could chop off its head with his hand axe. Just as he was about to chop, the cat looked at him and meowed. Ola froze. "I can't," he said softly. He lost his heart. He decided to bring it home because he had a mouse problem. Over time, he learned to love that cat. "You're no devil's bargain," he would say, scratching behind its ears. Next, he looked for snakes. He eventually spotted one, but he wasn't able to catch it. "Hold still," he muttered, failing again and again. He had heard stories of Indian swamis playing music to enchant cobras. "If they can do it, why not me?" he said. He decided to try this with his fiddle to calm the snake. He did this for weeks on end, and eventually he became such a good fiddle player that he gave up on catching the snake. But every day, he headed to the forest where he would play his fiddle for the ever-growing audience of snakes that gathered to hear his playing. Standing alone with his fiddle, he realized something simple and steady. "It was never the devil," he said aloud. He lifted the instrument to his shoulder and began to play. Not for the devil, not for a bargain, but for himself. And so Ola abandoned the whole idea. He chose instead to keep practicing, to rely on his own God-given skill, and to become the best musician he could be without owing anything to the darkness waiting by the waterfall. Despite this, he grabs his hunting rifle every so often and goes out looking for a squirrel.